Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be Harry Muppet, and we are going to be casting the quarterfinals of the what shit, I've forgotten already. It's the DreamHack Open Summer 2013 tournament. So it's the second DreamHack tournament of 2013. The first one, of course, was the Stockholm Open, and this one I think is played in Stockholm as well, but the Stockholm Open was the first one, and we couldn't get a decent replay pack for that one, which is why we didn't cast it, but we've got a decent replay pack for this one, so we are going to cast it. Now, first off, down the bottom right side of the map, it is going to be Jaedong, and he is part of the crap, don't tell me. He is part of the Evil Geniuses clan. So Jaedong, a South Korean player, and Evil Geniuses, a US based clan. And I'm not sure why that is important, but I'm going to say it's important because if I say it enough times in games, then I will start to learn it off by heart. And yeah, learning where all the pro players are from and where their clans are from and who's in what clan is definitely going to be something that I want to get started and get going. So that is going to be Jaedong from the Evil Geniuses clan, and he is a very awesome player from a very awesome clan. And this is probably should have mentioned this is the quarterfinal, the first quarterfinal I'm casting. So yeah, it's a long road for these guys, but they've been through so much already in this tournament. I think quarterfinal is down to 8 players, and they started off with 128, so these guys have already beaten 3 players each, I think, or maybe some other way, depending on how the groups work. Maybe they've defeated less, but regardless, they're pretty awesome at this stage. And there, I think that's GameHeart doing that. But up the top left side of the map, we do have our blue Terran player, LucifroN, and he is from the Mouse Sports clan. So he is a Spanish player, and Mouse Sports is a German clan, and we have actually seen him before. He was in the EMS Spring 2013 Cup, which I cast just before this one. So he was in the semi-final going off it against QXE. I can't remember which clan QXE is from. I think it was Complexity Gaming. And please don't ask me to remember where he's from and where his clan is from, because I really just don't. I think it was a US based clan, but so if that's the case, then he has been against US clans before, and it's going to have to happen again, and it's happening again right now. But he is a very, very good Terran player, and we've seen a bunch of Hellion stuff and Hellbat stuff and all that sort of stuff, and it's pretty damn awesome. And right now he is just building a bunch of Reapers he's going to send out there, and I don't think I've mentioned it already, but this is the GameHeart interface. Now if you have a look at this, you can see there's about 7 players in there. So this, excuse me, the entire purpose of the GameHeart interface is basically while these 2 players are playing the game, they see the general run-of-the-mill interface, the big bulky one, but the observers can actually see this interface, so they see all this stuff. And yeah, it's built for live streaming of sorts, so that if you're live streaming it, you can see all these awesome details, and yeah, the players just see the normal stuff. It was a little bit of a pain to cast a replay on. All this stuff was getting hidden by these displays, and a little bit annoying, but I managed to find an interface on the interweb to actually shift this stuff over to here. So it is going to be pretty good now, and I don't know, I'm used to the other one with the stuff up the top. It's nice and shiny. This is not quite as shiny, but it gives me more information at once. So right now I'm quite liking this. I can see the income, I can see the workers, I can see the army value and the resources lost at exactly the same time as I can see the production over there. It's down the bottom, so it's going to take me a little bit of time to get used to it, but the fact that I can see so much information is definitely okay with me. And yeah, we are going to go on this. I don't know if they're all GameHeart interfaces for this replay pack for the DreamHack Open Summer tournament, but I have a feeling that a lot of them are. So yeah, you are going to see a mix of GameHeart replays and my normal replays with the nice open bit. So yeah, it is going to be pretty awesome. What do we see when we click on these guys? I don't think there is a click. You don't click on them and actually see a window or anything like that. But that's fine. We can still go to G. We can still see what upgrades are available. And we just got the speed out there. So that is fine. We can still see everything that we possibly need to see. Units, yes, still popping up. So this is all the same old, so that's awesome. And we also have this number down here, down the bottom left, and that shows you how many they've actually won in a best of 3 series. And this is very important because I actually loaded up the wrong replay before, And 5 minutes into it, I was like, hey, there's a 1 there in front of one of these players. That's probably not good. That means I'm not casting the first replay. Very, very nice supply depot raise up there. He wouldn't have been able to do that if he hadn't had this spotting out there, but he has it. And let's get to the game, because I've been talking for like, I mean, you're only supposed to waste time at the start of a game for like 4 or 5 minutes, but I've been going for 7 minutes now, and shit is actually happening, so I'm missing all of it. We've got a expansion out there with a blocking up here. He hasn't been worrying about this ramp yet. He is going in for a nice early Hellion Reaper harass. They haven't really done much. Zerg player not really blocking off this ramp, but he does have 2 queens out there ready to knock these guys away. I'd really like to see the Hellions go out there, distract the queens, a couple of Reapers come up the side, start attacking the drones, but of course he does have this hatchery spotting this cliff, but he could always go around the third, come up this cliff, and then go around right up to the back to the thing, but then there's a queen there, so I don't know. The Hellions could attack there, the queen can go up there, he could run around, and then while the queens go over there, he can move the Hellions back over there. I mean, the possibilities are just absolutely unlimited when you really think about it, but in the end, roaches pretty much destroy all of those possibilities, because roaches do awesome versus Reapers and Hellions. Even though they're slow, they do a fantastic job. And what we got going down here, we got some Widow Mines for some nice defense. I would not be surprised to see him getting some more of those. And it looks like he's moved a barracks back onto the reactor, so his Hellion harass is pretty much over. There's one Reaper. Going to sneak up the side, or just scout out for a base here. These Lings are going to be ready if he decides to go cliff jumping though. Roaches out the front of the base. There should be more than enough forces to push these guys away. They're sending 6 roaches out at the 9.5 minute mark. It's really not going to get Jaedong anywhere, but he sees that there is a stop here, there is a gate over there, and he's going to be fine. And right now Jaedong is happy knowing that the Terran player is not moving out at the moment, so that's going to make him very happy, and he might even start thinking about getting a 4th base around the 11-12 minute mark, because his economy, I don't even have to press the I anymore because it's already down here. I've got to get used to this though. Yeah, 62 over 54, and that is very good for him. He's not a huge amount, or he's a huge amount now. He just built like 7 drones, so he's building a crap load more, man. He knows he's got the contain there, and he's going nuts on the drones. These guys going for the rocks. He knows he needs a 3rd base, but the Overlord over there is, I do not know how this exactly works with Overlord being inside the command center, but I am pretty sure that it is not good for either race to have that happen. And here we go, a bunch of Hellions just doing a bit of a scout, bit of a harass. Roaches are going to chase them off nice and easy. The Zerg player, he's working on the rocks as well, so he's going to get his 4th base down. The Terran's going to take this down, so they're going to get a 3rd base down. Lots of upgrades going on all over the place. We do have a Spire coming down, so that's going to be pretty awesome. I'm assuming we're going to see Corruptors to counter Medivacs. That's what we usually see. It might be Mutas as well, Mutaling perhaps. If he goes for a crap load of Banelings as well. Mutalings, very, very strong tactic against Triple M. His Roach is going to come down, and they've got a half decent range. I don't think the Marauders can hit them, so they might have to do a flank. He's going in there, he's like, no sir, I can't hit that guy. Even he's getting really close there, but he's got to do something. However, going out for a flank is a bit dangerous. He's really in a bit of a tight spot. He's wishing he had siege tanks right there, because siege tanks could solve all his problems. But unfortunately, he does not have siege tanks, and that's very bad. Zerg getting a nice economic lead there, 80 over 68. I might actually hide that, because that shows how much the left is the game. So it's not something we want to see, so we're going to go out. The Marines coming out for the flank. Unfortunately, the Medivacs went a little bit too close. The Roaches saw they were coming. They've managed to save the rocks. Unfortunately for the Terran player, he cannot repair these rocks, and their health does not naturally get better and better. And actually, that's what I'm missing. I can't click on these rocks and see how much health they got. So that's a little bit of a pain in the ass. You can't see exact health values, but that's fine. We're going to see a lot of creep go down here, stopping the creep spread, so this is going to be good. Any sort of creep spread he can stop on the west side is going to be awesome for keeping this base alive when he actually needs to go for his 4th, because he does not want the Zerg to have a creep highway. But here we go, the Zerg's coming out now. He's going out with a lot of Lings, and that is a lot of Lings. He needs to get the Widow Mines down, start taking some hits off on them. Widow Mines are out, and that is what he really needed to do. The Lings all getting absolutely annihilated. The Banelings coming in though, but there's more than enough Marines down. The Banelings have all gone down, and those Mutas were looking a little bit dangerous, but with these reinforcing Marines coming down, and with the Marines jumping out of this medevac, the Terran player definitely has enough to push this Zerg player away, but the Zerg is not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Is this the upgrades? Damn, I think that's the upgrades. I think, yeah, and there's just enough space to put in the mech upgrades as well, because of course the Terran player doesn't have separate armor for ships and vehicles. It's got the same armor now. Ling's doing a very good job there. He is so lucky they were not banelings. He would have been in a lot of trouble there. But he's doing pretty well. The massive amount of Marines in here doing just a crap load of damage. And he's got enough medevacs, but the medevac's starting to run out of energy, so his health, he's not going to be able to deal with his getting his health up as much. It gets down the baneling nest, which is a nice hit, but another one goes up straight away. Manages to get them all in the medevacs running away. Widowmine goes down and takes out some Lings. These guys are going to have to jump them off as fast as they can. They know the mutas are in pursuit, and they know that all those Marines are going to die if the mutas get onto the medevacs while there's still units inside them. But the medevac's going to keep on keeping on. Here we go. Let's see some little dots there. So that is how you do it. You see the icon and you see the little dots. But of course, all of us know exactly what the icons look like, so we can see, oh, that's level 1, oh, that's level 2. It's all pretty good, but it is nice and helpful to be able to see that, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, one changeling over there, and he is just not going to be doing much actually. And you'll notice actually those shadows look pretty crappy. I do not have a super computer with ultra settings. I think I've actually got them on medium, just because otherwise it starts to lag, but it's not lagging that much right now. It's still going pretty good. I can't remember what the thingamy-bob is for the frames per second, and if I start pressing random buttons, I will probably wreck this entire replay. And since I am frapsing this, I do not want to wreck my entire replay, so we're just going to ignore it for now. But needless to say, my fraps is probably about 30 FPS or something like that, maybe 40 or 50, but it's not super high. This base is in a lot of trouble. He's going to lose a ton of SCVs there. The mutas all going in, all wrecking their world, and they're running. They've got a few Marines up there, but I don't know if these amount of Marines is going to be enough to shoot off these mutas, because the muta numbers are just so huge. Going to take out the command center. Meanwhile, the Marines all over there going to push in these rocks, try and go for the third base. It's going to be a little bit tougher for them. Muta's finally getting chased away by all of those little guys, and there's something destroyed there. It must have been a missile turret or something. But these guys going in there. He's got one Marine. Actually, that's not a Marine, that's a changeling. He wishes that was a Marine, but the mutas, so close to going for a flank, decide not to. Decide to send in some banelings to whittle out the Marine numbers first off, and he's getting a very nice split. But the banelings, there's still a crap load of banelings, and all of these Marines are still going to die, I reckon. There's some left over, but there's just massive amount of Lings and mutas coming in, and it's just going to be too much. There's a lot of reinforcements coming in though, so this might be enough to hold them off. The Lings all starting to go down, and the mutas, once the ground reinforcements go out, the mutas just have no chance anymore. They've got to get out of there, because you might be able to lose one Marine for each muta. The mutas might be able to take down one Marine for every one muta that gets lost, but the mutas cost 100 gas and minerals, and the Marines only cost 50 minerals, so you do not want to be trading mutas for Marines at all. Is just the most horrible exchange you could ever think of. And really, when there's that many Marines and that many Marauders, you probably will lose one for one, simply because the Marines are such a good counter to the mutas. And here we go, the Marines running in, taking a couple of hits. The mutas trying to destroy whatever they can as they do a organised retreat. The Terran player does have this fourth base down. It keeps disappearing. I don't know why, but that is a fourth base, and it's only happened twice, so we're just going to have to deal with it. It is a planetary fortress, so that's going to be awesome. The Zerg player moving over here with his mutas. He'd very much like to get that planetary, and he probably will be able to. I don't know, there's a ton of Marines out there. They're moving out though. So if he moves out far and away, luckily for the Terran player, this is not a changeling, because otherwise he would know, but he seems to know anyway. He's moving in, takes the missile turret out. The Terran player is going to have to regroup, but he does have a bunch of Lings out here just to keep him occupied while the mutas come in here. He's going to run a few of the SCVs away, but the banelings coming around, and those SCVs are all going to die. This planetary is going to go down, and he's got to be worried about these guys running up north and just hitting stuff. But there is 2 missile turrets up there, so he might be okay. The fourth base going down for the Terran player though, and that is going to be all sorts of bad news. The Zerg player has a 5th coming up, so the Zerg definitely in the lead, and we can have a look at the worker numbers here. He is 40 workers behind. He's been losing so many workers to those mutas. The muta splash damage does such an amazing amount of damage to the SCVs, and he really, either he needs to go stupidly high macro to get his worker count up, or he needs to get a beautiful exchange off on the mutas. The Widow Mine's doing a good job, but he needs to just wipe out the mutas with his Marine Force. He needs to get a lucky engagement and just take out a crap load of mutas, because I think that's the only way he's really going to win this game at the moment. He's just too far behind. Otherwise, income is too far behind. The army is behind. That doesn't matter too much, but the income is going to kill him after a while. And here come the mutas as well. How many mutas do we got? We've got like 29. That's just nuts. They almost thought about taking out those Marines, but they decided not to. Mutas got a couple wiped out, maybe, but here we go. The Banelings continuing to just do massive amounts of damage to the Marines. He's getting a ton of Marines, but the Marines suck versus Banelings, and they do good versus mutas, but he can never catch the mutas. The mutas just run away too fast. And yeah, right now, LucifroN, man, he's just not getting what he needs to do. He's getting a crap load of Marines, a crap load of Widow Mines. They're not hitting the mutas though, and the Ling Baneling is just wiping out the Marines again and again and again and again and again. So I'm really not sure what he can hope to do against these guys. I mean, what counter is there for a massive amount of mutas? The answer is Marines, but the Marines are so slow, and if they can never get in a good position to attack the mutas, then yeah, I mean they're pretty much screwed. And they're going to keep going in here. I guess if he had Marine Triple M and then tanks, he could kill all these Lings, go in there, start taking some bases out, and then the Zerg would have to pull his mutas back, and that is when the mutas would be in trouble, when they had to pull back to go against these Marine forces. But it's not happening. We don't have tanks on the field, and even if we did, I think the mutas would be sniping them left, right and centre. The Terran is doing a fair push though. He's held off at least 2 swarms, but just more and more keep coming. Mutas coming in to mop up the medevacs, and that is always bad for a Terran player to lose medevacs. And he's going to retreat these guys. He's not going to send them in, and he's got to be thinking, what do I need to do to deal with these mutas? I mean, I would love to see some Widow Mines surrounding this base, like Widow Mines left, right and centre, just completely all over the place. When the mutas come in, Widow Mines would just shred, absolutely shred this muta force. And that's something I'd really like to see. He hasn't done it though. I mean, Widow Mines around the command centre, I mean, why not? They're so much better than missile turrets, so yeah, give him a crack. Of course, if he sends Lings in first, it's not going to work, but yeah, Widow Mines, it would be awesome. He's reinforcing forces coming in here. He's going to save the command centre. He's going to kill all these Lings, but the mutas, I don't know. I think they might be able to drive off. There weren't that many Marines to start with, and I think the rest of them all died. The SCVs are being killed like there's no tomorrow. He's managed to build up a little bit because he's losing SCVs, but he's still around the 45 mark, but that's still so far behind, man. Really, really far behind. His army is just so far behind as well. You can see these guys just going for broke. The Marines going in there, but constant Marine Baneling pressure, and the Zerg can pretty much just build an unlimited amount of units. He's spending his resources so well. It's 2,000 income per minute, or it was. And look at how many minerals he's got. Barely anything. He's continually building Lings, sending them out there, doing great damage, and the Terran could just not keep up with the awesome macro of our Zerg player, Jaedong. And yeah, I think this game is pretty much over. It's just been a slow slide down for the last 10 minutes or so, and really there's not really much that the Terran player can do. And there goes the GG. He's going to leave the game, and here we go. Awesome victory screen as well. So there we go. Jaedong winning for the Evil Geniuses team. It's not a team-based game, but I'm sure they're quite happy with him nonetheless. And there we go. That is going to be game 1 of this quarterfinal series, and we are going to go into game 2. All the quarterfinals are a best of 3. I believe every game is a best of 3 except for the grand finals, which are a best of 5. So yeah, Jaedong doing an excellent job with some excellent pressure. The Terran player had a pretty good game plan, but the mutas, man, the mutas are too fast. I really think he should have gone for more tanks. Really pushed up there, really did some damage inside the base, because the Marines could not counter the Banelings by themselves. And yeah, he needed tank support to take care of those Banelings. And if he had the tank support, he could have pushed in here, done a lot of damage, forced the mutas to come back and attack his Marine force. But he didn't. The Lings and the Banelings took care of the Marines by themselves, and the mutas really didn't have much to do, so they were free to fly around the base and just wipe out everything. Another thing I'd like to see against mutas is a large amount of Widow Mines. I'm talking about 5 or 6 of the blasted things in here attacking mutas. I mean, I don't know if they do splash damage versus... If they shoot at an air target, they do splash damage versus ground. I don't know if that's the case. But even if it is, man, I mean, wiping out all the mutas and losing half your workers, I think that would probably be worth it, because it's way better than losing all your workers and not killing a single muta, which is usually what happens. So anyway, there we go. That is going to be game 1 of this quarterfinal. We're going to go straight onto game 2. And then we're going to do the rest of the quarterfinals, and it's going to be awesome. And I'm really liking this Game Heart interface. I was pissed off at the start, but now I am quite liking it. And we're going to keep on doing it, and it's going to be awesome. So thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next game.